In the realm of human existence, there exists a delicate dance between conformity and individuality, between adhering to social norms and challenging them. This interplay has been a subject of deep contemplation by great minds and philosophers throughout history. From Socrates to Nietzsche, from Gandhi to Martin Luther King Jr., these luminaries have not only questioned the status quo, but also offered transformative solutions that have shaped the course of humanity. Breaking social norms is a bold act of defiance against the established order. It is an expression of individuality and a rejection of the constraints imposed by society. Thinkers like Socrates, the ancient Greek philosopher, exemplified this audacity by questioning the prevailing beliefs and challenging the authority of the time. His relentless pursuit of truth and his commitment to critical thinking laid the foundation for Western philosophy. Similarly, Friedrich Nietzsche, the 19th century German philosopher, vehemently criticized the conformist tendencies of his society. He advocated for the Superman, an individual who transcends societal norms and embraces their own unique values and perspectives. Nietzsche believed that breaking free from conformity was essential for personal growth and the advancement of society. The impact of breaking social norms extends far beyond individual liberation. It has the potential to catalyze transformative change on a collective level. Mahatma Gandhi, the leader of India's independence movement, challenged the norm of violence and oppression by advocating for non-violent resistance. His peaceful protests and civil disobedience not only paved the way for India's liberation, but also inspired numerous other movements around the world. Martin Luther King Jr., a prominent figure in the American civil rights movement, followed in Gandhi's footsteps by breaking the social norm of racial segregation. King's powerful speeches and peaceful protests challenged the prevailing discriminatory practices, leading to significant legal and social transformations in the United States. His commitment to justice and equality continues to inspire generations to this day. While breaking social norms can be a powerful tool for change, it is not without its challenges. Those who choose to challenge the status quo often face resistance, ridicule, and even persecution. The path of nonconformity can be a lonely one, as it requires individuals to navigate uncharted territory without the safety of societal approval. However, it is precisely this courage to stand against the tide that has the potential to reshape the world. On the other hand, group thinking, also known as conformity, has its own set of implications. It is the tendency of individuals to conform to the beliefs and behaviors of the group, often for the sake of social acceptance or a desire for harmony. While conformity can foster a sense of belonging and cooperation, it can also lead to stagnation and the suppression of individuality. The dangers of group thinking are well documented throughout history. The psychological phenomenon known as the Asch conformity experiment demonstrated how individuals were willing to deny their own perceptions in order to conform to the group consensus. This experiment highlighted the power of social pressure and the potential for group thinking to stifle independent thought and critical reasoning. In more extreme cases, group thinking can lead to disastrous outcomes. The Bay of Pigs invasion, a failed military intervention by the United States in Cuba, serves as a cautionary tale of the dangers of groupthink. The desire for unanimity and the suppression of dissenting voices within the decision-making process resulted in a flawed plan and a significant loss for the United States. However, it is important to note that group thinking is not inherently negative. Collaboration and collective action have been instrumental in achieving remarkable feats throughout history. The scientific community, for instance, thrives on the collective pursuit of knowledge and the sharing of ideas. The Human Genome Project, a global scientific endeavor, would not have been possible without the collaboration of scientists from various backgrounds and disciplines. The key lies in striking a balance between conformity and independent thinking. It is essential to recognize the value of group cooperation and the wisdom that can be gained from collective decision-making. At the same time, individuals must be encouraged to think critically, challenge assumptions, and voice their unique perspectives. Transformative solutions emerge when individuals break free from the shackles of conformity and engage in independent thinking while also harnessing the power of collective action. The great minds and philosophers of history provide us with valuable insights and strategies for achieving this delicate balance. Socrates, for example, advocated for the Socratic method, a form of dialogue that encourages critical thinking and questioning. By engaging in thoughtful discourse, individuals are able to challenge existing norms and expand their understanding of the world. Socratic dialogue enables the exploration of different perspectives and the synthesis of diverse ideas, fostering intellectual growth and transformative solutions. The philosopher Immanuel Kant emphasized the importance of individual autonomy and moral reasoning in his concept of enlightenment. He urged individuals to have the courage to think for themselves and to challenge authority. Kant believed that independent thinking, guided by reason and moral principles, was essential for personal and societal progress. Let's take a journey through the comical yet strikingly real world of conformity and individuality. And while we're at it, let's examine the pros and cons of each. Imagine two characters' conformity. Carl, a stickler for the rules who wouldn't dream of stepping out of line in individuality. Ivan, an iconoclast who marches to the beat of his own drum. First, let's explore the life of conformity. Carl, he's the epitome of societal norms. He's never late for work, always wears the appropriate attire, a crisp suit and tie, and follows the same routine day in and day out. He's a model citizen, always adhering to laws and regulations, never causing any trouble. On the surface, Carl seems like the perfect guy, but beneath this ideal lies a deeper truth. Carl's conformity, while making him predictable and reliable, also stifles his creativity and individuality. He's never taken the risk of trying a new idea at work for fear of failure or being ridiculed. He's missed out on exciting opportunities because they didn't fit into his neatly planned schedule. And while he's well-liked, he's also somewhat forgettable because he never stands out from the crowd. Now let's turn to individuality. Ivan's life couldn't be more different from Carl's. He's the guy who shows up to a black tie event in a colorful Hawaiian shirt. He's the one who suggests the crazy out-of-the-box ideas at work that initially make people raise their eyebrows but often lead to breakthroughs. Ivan is the man who's not afraid to challenge the status quo, to question established norms, and to express his unique point of view. However, Ivan's individuality, while exciting and refreshing, also has its drawbacks. His unconventional behavior can sometimes cause conflict or misunderstanding with others who don't understand his perspective. He's often perceived as a maverick or a rebel, which can lead to social isolation, and his constant pursuit of novelty can sometimes be exhausting and destabilizing. These two exaggerated characters illustrate the pros and cons of conformity and individuality. Conformity provides stability and predictability, but can stifle creativity and self-expression. Individuality fosters innovation and personal growth, but can lead to conflict and instability. In real life, most people fall somewhere between conformity Carl and individuality Ivan. They conform to certain societal norms for the sake of harmony and efficiency, but they also express their individuality in areas that are important to them. For example, consider Steve Wozniak, the co-founder of Apple. He was a brilliant engineer who thought differently and wasn't afraid to take risks, much like individuality. Ivan, however, he also recognized the importance of teamwork and collaboration, aspects of conformity. Carl in building a successful company. Similarly, Malala Yousafzai, the youngest Nobel laureate, stood up against the oppressive norms of her society, advocating for girls' education. Her individuality has made her a global icon for education and women's rights, yet she also understands the importance of international norms and cooperation in achieving her goals. In essence, the key is to strike a balance between conformity and individuality. It's about knowing when to adhere to societal norms and when to challenge them, when to blend in with the crowd and when to stand out. After all, as the great philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Great minds throughout history have both adhered to and challenged group thinking. Albert Einstein, for instance, famously stated the measure of intelligence is the ability to change. He embodied this philosophy by challenging established norms in physics, leading to his groundbreaking theory of relativity. Simultaneously, Steve Jobs, the visionary behind Apple, believed that great things in business are never done by one person. They're done by a team of people. Jobs recognized the power of group thinking and achieving innovative outcomes, as seen through Apple's numerous breakthrough products. In conclusion, breaking social norms can have both benign and malignant effects, but it's an integral part of societal growth and transformation. Group thinking, both from a subjective and objective viewpoint, plays a critical role in this process. The insights of celebrated minds provide valuable lessons on balancing individual thought and group consensus. They show us that while social norms and group thinking can guide us, It is the courage to challenge and change these norms that truly move society forward.